This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Rudy Giuliani thinks he's some sort of courtroom Houdini, a David Copperfield of lawyering. In every interview, he creates a situation for himself that is so wildly disadvantageous that you would think he sets it up that way. In his mind, it's like he's begging to be handcuffed and tossed into a water cage because he thinks he has so many dazzling strategies for getting out alive. In reality, though, what we get with every television interview is an angry, babbling old man screaming abracadabra into the camera.
Hey, hold on.
Shut up, moron. Shut up.
Okay, hold on.
Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about, idiot.
Gross, right? But hey, for his latest magic trick, Giuliani claims that when he is served a subpoena during impeachment hearings, he'll simply attack the committee issuing it. Last week, he told CNN they have no legitimacy. I would think of challenging their subpoena on the grounds that they're not a legitimate committee. And then yesterday, he repeated a form of this nonsense to ABC.
To sell his father's
Will you
office.
cooperate with the House Intelligence Committee?
I wouldn't cooperate with Adam Schiff. I think Adam Schiff should be removed. If they remove Adam Schiff, if they put a neutral person in who hasn't prejudged the case, if they put someone in, a Democrat who hasn't expressed an opinion yet, if I had a judge in a case and he had already announced I'm going to impeach, if he already went ahead and did a whole false episode, wouldn't I move to recuse that judge?
So that's your answer. You're not going to cooperate.
I didn't say that. I said I will consider it.
You said you wouldn't do it.
You
said you will not cooperate with Adam Schiff.
I said I will consider it. I have to be guided by my client, frankly. I'm a lawyer. It's his privilege, not mine. If he decides that he wants me to testify, of course I'll testify, even though I think Adam Schiff is an illegitimate chairman.
To put this in perspective, according to Rudolph Giuliani, he's planning to go full Al Pacino in the movie And Justice for All on Congress, screaming like a lunatic about how out of order they all are.
You're out of order! You're out of order! The whole trial is out of order! They're out of order!
I hate to be the one to break it to you old demented freak, but that's not how this works, Rudy. That's not how any of this works. But listen, chances are that this principle-free legal weasel may actually attempt to snub a lawfully issued subpoena and get away with it. This is, after all, 2019, and these are indeed strange times. I mean, don't forget that as of now, this very moment, Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross and our Attorney General Bill Barr have both been held in contempt. The House voted to do so after they didn't provide the requested documents to the Oversight and Reform Committee related to the upcoming census. You know, because they didn't feel like they had to. And now they're walking around on their own 2 feet, breathing the same free air that the rest of us not in contempt of Congress types are breathing. As of now, they have faced no consequences, and the precedent of that might just be filling Rudy Giuliani's head with all kinds of crazy ideas. Still, regardless of whether Giuliani shows up to honor a subpoena, I have at least 3 questions I think he needs to be hammered with each and every time he even brushes up against a reporter. I mean, I'm definitely not a legitimate committee, but I got 3 super legitimate questions regarding the Ukraine affair that I'd like answered. So here we go. Question number 1. On everybody's minds, Rudy, is who in the hell was paying for your numerous trips overseas? While you were playing the world's worst version of Carmen Sandiego, who paid for it all? The American people deserve an accounting of every flight overseas, every hotel stay, every bite of borscht or stuffed cabbage or pierogi that you got to fit down your greasy gas pipe. If you, as Donald Trump's personal attorney, were hopscotching through Eastern Europe on our dime as taxpayers, we really need to know that. So where'd the money come from? Question number 2. Did you, Mr. Private Citizen, personal lawyer, even have a security clearance at any level, Rudy? Even the most basic security positions require a background check, and folks have to fill out under penalty of perjury an SF-86 to begin an investigation into conflicts of interest or other compromising circumstances. One of the many reasons we don't just allow any random dipshit to start doing freelance diplomacy is because their backgrounds and character are critical to the position. So did you apply and were you granted a security clearance after a background check? Question number 3. It needs to be known whether or not Rudy Giuliani has handled any sensitive classified information. Has the private attorney of Donald Trump handled classified info that could very well endanger the national security posture of the United States? When Rudy was holding up his cell phone on Laura Ingram's show, screeching that he's got all the State Department texts and requests on it, what the hell was that? What's on his phone? Is it classified? Is it not? As a former holder myself of a top secret security clearance while I was in the United States Marine Corps, I can tell you that an iPhone isn't a proper or authorized conveyance for classified material. So it's imperative that the American people know what is going on there. The next few months are going to be insane. The misinformation and spin and the naked lies that are going to fly your way will feel overwhelming at times. Like a blood-leaching parasite, Donald Trump has burrowed himself under America's skin. And if you think he's not going to fight tooth and nail to hang on, well then, I guess you don't know how parasites work. So share these questions and demand that we get answers from Rudy Giuliani. Fight back on Twitter. Fight back on Reddit. Ask these questions of anyone who's waving this impeachment away. Who's paid? Was there a security clearance? Was there classified info? Rudy Giuliani thinks he's slick, but he's not. Greasy, maybe. Slick? Nah.